Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswati Vyasam Tato Jayamudinaye Nashtaprayeshu Amatreshu Yam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttamashloke Bhaktir Bhavinaishti. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, text 20 to 21. Swayam Bhunaradah Shambhu Kumarah Kavido Manu Prahlad Janaka Bhishmo Balit Vayasakir Vayam Vadasaite Vijani Dharamam Bhagavatam Atah Ukyam Vishuddham Bodham Yam Jnanamritam Ashtute. Please repeat. Swayam Bhunaradah Shambhu Kumarah Kavido Manu Prahlad Janaka Bhishmo Balit Vayasakir Vayam Vadasaite Vijani Dharamam Bhagavatam Atah Ukyam Vishuddham Bodham Yam Jnanamritam Ashtute. Swayam Bhunaradah Shambhu Kumarah Kavido Manu Prahlado Janako Bhishmo Balit Vayasakir Vayam Vadasaite Vijani Dharamam Bhagavatam Atah Ukyam Vishuddham Bodham Yam Jnanamritam Ashtute. Lord Brahma, Narada, the great saint Narada, Shambhu, Lord Shiva, Kumara, the four Kumaras, Prahlada, Prahlada Maharaja, Janaka, Janaka Maharaja, Bhishma, grandfather Bhishma, Balihi, Bali Maharaja, Vyasaki, Shukadeva, the son of Vyasadeva, Vayam, we, Dwadasha, 12, Ete, these, Vijanimaha, no, Dharamam, real religious principles, Bhagavatam, which teach a person how to love the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Bhatah, O my dear servants, Guhyam, very confidential, Vishuddham, transcendental, not contaminated by the material modes of nature. Durbodham, not easily understood. Yam, which, Jnatva, understanding. Amritam, eternal life. Ashnute, he enjoys. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki. Lord Brahma, Bhagavan, Narada, Lord Shiva, the four Kumaras, Lord Kapila, the son of Devahuti, Swayam, Manu, Prahlada Maharaja, Janaka Maharaja, grandfather Bhishma, Bali Maharaja, Shukadeva Goswami, and I myself know the real religious principle. My dear servants, this transcendental religious principle, which is known as Bhagavata Dharma, or surrender unto the Supreme Lord and love for Him, is uncontaminated by the material modes of nature. It is very confidential and difficult for ordinary human beings to understand. But if by chance one fortunately understands it, he is immediately liberated, and thus he returns home back to Godhead. Purport: in the Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna refers to Bhagavad Dharma as the most confidential religious principle. Sarva guhyattamam guhyat guhyataram. Krishna says to Arjuna, because you are my very dear friend, I am explaining to you the most confidential religion. Sarva dharman parityajya mamekam sharanam vraja. Give up all other duties and surrender unto me. One may ask, if this principle is very rarely understood, what is the use of it? In answer, Yamaraj states herein that this religious principle is understandable if one follows the parampara system of Lord Brahma, Lord Shiva, the four Kumaras, and the other standard authorities. There are 4 lines of disciplic succession: one from Brahma, one from Lord Shiva, one from Lakshmi, the goddess of fortune, and one from the Kumaras. The disciplic succession from Lord Brahma is called the Brahma Sampradaya. The succession from Lord Shiva, Shambhu, is called the Rudra Sampradaya. The one from the goddess of fortune, Lakshmi, is called the Shri Sampradaya. And the one from the Kumaras is called the Kumara Sampradaya. One must take shelter of one of these 4 Sampradayas in order to understand the most confidential religious system. In the Padma Purana, it is stated, Sampradaya Vihinaye Mantraste Nishphala Matah. If one does not follow the 4 recognized disciplic successions, his mantra or initiation is useless. In the present day, there are many apasampradayas or sampradayas which are not bona fide, which have no link to authorities like Lord Brahma, Lord Shiva, the Kumaras, or Lakshmi. People are misguided by such sampradayas. The Shastras say that being initiated in such a sampradaya is a useless waste of time, for it will never enable one to understand the real religious principles. Om Tat Sat. Om Jnanatimirandhasya Gyaranjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmayi Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupakada Mahyam Dadati Swapadantikam. Vandeham Shri Guruho Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurum Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahajagana Raghunathan Vitamatam Sachivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sakitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakan Vitamscha Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prashtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamin Iti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshadarine Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasati Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki, a very famous shloka often quoted by Srila Prabhupada. Swayambhu Narada Sambhu Kumaro Kapilo Manu, etc. Naming all the 12 authorities, Mahajanas. Mahajana Yena Gatasa Pantha. We are often hearing that we must follow on the footsteps of the Mahajanas. Prabhupada calls standard authorities. So spiritual life, that is dharma in truth, can never be understood if you try to do something on your own. This is one thing you cannot do on your own. The one thing that you can do on your own is to follow. That is one thing you can do. But people mix these things up. Following is something that you can do. But making up your own dharma is something which you cannot do, must not do. Speculating on dharma also you should not do. If you do it, you're doomed. You never get the real essence. Dharmam tu sakshat bhagavat pranitam. We have heard that repeatedly, Prabhupada quoting it, that dharma is enunciated by the Supreme Lord only. Prabhupada is saying in the purport here, it is very confidential. And number two, it is not easily understood by anybody. What did I say? Number one. Number two, it is not easily understood at all. Then how are we supposed to know it? How are we supposed to know it? That's why there are Mahajanas. They know it. And here Yamaraj is saying, we know it. 12 of us. He did not name other people. Other great personalities he did not name. He did not call Mahatma so-and-so, Mahatma so-and-so and name them. Only these 12 people we know. And those who follow these 12 people, they also get to know. Very important to know. These are the authorities. So pure devotional service, Bhagavat Dharma, can be understood only by the mercy of the Lord. Yeah? Can be understood only by the mercy of the Lord coming through the pure devotee. And who is connected with the Mahajanas. And who is connected with a bona fide sampradaya. All these things have to fit in place. It is not that willy-nilly anybody comes and speaks something and we can follow him and think that we are very dharmic. There are all sorts of people explaining what is Sanatana Dharma nowadays. Why? Because they want to be popular. They want to be known. And they want to tell everybody that I know it. So it is a strange phenomenon. You know, there is an Arabic proverb which I often quote in my Gita sessions. One who knows and knows that he knows, follow him. Very interesting. One who knows and knows that he knows, follow him. One who knows and does not know that he knows is asleep, awaken him. Interesting. And one who knows not that he knows not is a fool, shun him. But you will feel, nowadays you will see, I know. But you don't say, you don't think that I know that I don't know. That you don't say. I know that I know. It's dangerous. You know, the way the psychology works. I know. Listen to me. It's dangerous. When the oracle, in Greek philosophy, you'll see the oracle was asked by all the intelligent people. How do we know what we are supposed to know? And then the oracle is saying, you must ask the person who knows. And then they ask the oracle, who knows? Socrates knows. And they all go to Socrates. Please tell us you know. Socrates says, I don't know. I'm trying to find out by my questioning method. I don't know. I don't know. And I want to know. So a person who really knows is not saying, I know, come here, all of you. Normally, all of you, please come here, join me. I will tell you what to do. It normally doesn't say that. In the material realm, I'm saying. But Bhagavat Dharma, here Yamaraj is saying, we all know it. Isn't it very strange? You may think, if you judge it materially, you'll think, how is he so confidently telling you know it? Because it is the absolute truth. Bhagavad Dharma, Krishna is known to me. That's the meaning of it. What is it that we know? I know Krishna. Therefore, I know what is Bhagavad Dharma. Prabhupada explained this very brilliantly in the 7th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita. Very nicely, he uses the word and he quibbles with known and unknown. The whole 2 sentences he writes. Knowing the unknown. He speaks about it very nicely. So here Yamaraj is saying, I know. We know. Why? Because the absolute truth is such that if you know it, you know that you know it. If Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, reveals himself to you, you know it. But actually, when Krishna has not revealed himself to you yet, you actually don't know. And if you profess that you know, you're a cheater. Bhagavatam lists 4 cheaters in Kali Yuga. Dharma bhado vidharmasyat, paradharmo anya choditah, upadharmostu pakhando dhambova sabda vichalaha. Can you get that shloka? Dhambova sabda vichalaha in the 11th canto, I think. These 4 fellows will rise up and say that I know. None of them know. Is listing these 4 guys, and I saw that I could categorize many people according to these groups. And Prabhupada very quietly going with a walking stick and speaking the absolute truth all over the world. And he never doesn't want anybody's recognition. He doesn't want to go around on social media saying, I know, please listen to me. That's it. He knows it. And everybody who follows him knows this man knows. That feeling comes in you. This person knows. I want to follow him. This is the amazing thing about the absolute truth. I don't have to advertise that I know it. Yesterday, I was in the Tamil class, I was telling them that Prabhupada was asked a question by one of his followers as to why Lord Chaitanya is the Supreme Lord. He could very easily spread the holy name by himself. He has so much Shakti. He knows everything. He can do it himself. We are struggling so much to do it. Why he could have done it? It's a very interesting question he had in mind. Why are we struggling so much? Building a temple, collecting funds, the COVID attacks you, then people don't give you that, then doesn't come, then they did this devotee, that happened, this, that. So much of trouble. If we really have that facility, why can't we enjoy that facility? Krishna, can you do it? Excuse me, can you just do it? You're Sarva Shaktiman. For you, what is there? If you do like this, the temple will come up. Now, why don't you do it? That's a natural question everybody has, isn't it? You lifted the Govardhan hill and all that. Sure, you can finish this in no time. So when this was asked to Prabhupada, that why Lord Chaitanya is not doing it himself, Prabhupada with his big eyes turned around and said, because he wanted me to do it. He turned around and said this, he wanted me to do it. He is the person who's spreading the Bhagavad Dharma. Nobody else did it all along. And the simple truth that is given in the Bhagavad Gita, nobody could read it. Although there are guys speaking Bhagavad Gita, writing books and frothing in the mouth, speaking that philosophy and this philosophy, nobody got it. Nobody got it. Everybody got stuck with karma, vikarma. From the Bhagavad Gita, they're speaking all sorts of nonsense that is never there in the Bhagavad Gita. Karma, vikarma, jnana, name it, or yoga, all sorts of things they spoke like nothing. But nobody spoke. No. This is what Krishna is trying to say. He's trying to say, become my devotee. Can you see it? You cannot see it if you're not a devotee. But once you actually start chanting Hare Krishna and you understand what Prabhupada is saying, everywhere you see it in the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna is saying, become my devotee. Bhakti is topmost. If you can get to Bhakti, it's the best. It's the easiest. I'll support you. I'll be with you. He's repeatedly saying that. He's speaking that all over. But it clicks only when a pure devotee has taught you. And you can see that's what is the language of the Bhagavad Gita. It's actually a love story. The Lord and the living entities love exchanged. So this is the secret. The secret, the good news is it's a love story. It's about me and God and my love for God and his love for me. And every one of us can have an affair with God. It's called Bhagavad Dharma. Isn't it amazing? Every one of us is allowed to have an affair. And it doesn't matter he, because God can relate with everybody individually in an affair. Right? People call it extramarital affair. I call it extra material affair. Apart from your material stuff which you're invested in, have an extra material affair with Krishna. Isn't it interesting? It's perfectly, that is his proposal in the Bhagavad Gita. Manmana bhavamat bhakto madhyaji mam namaskuru mam evaishyasi satyevam yuktvaivam atmanam matparayanaha. In 9th chapter he's saying that. He's inviting you to have a relationship. That is what we are saying, I know and you don't know. Actually, we all know now because of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. We all know because of Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. This is what Krishna is asking you to do. And it's all about love. It's all about prema. And so much, to such an extent, the devotee can go in this line that he can make Krishna indebted to you. This is what is Ramananda Rai's and Lord Chaitanya's conversation in bank of the Godavari. You see, in Rajamandri, we can go to that place, we can cross the Godavari and go to that place where he had this conversation with Ramananda Rai. Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya is ecstatic having discovered this. He said, I'm a dry, materialist, hanging around with Gyan and speaking all these things. Now that you have told me and you have energized me with these things, I am so happy. He was so happy and ecstatic. And when Lord Chaitanya went on his South Indian tour, he told Lord Chaitanya, I think you should meet with Ramananda Rai. I met him. He's my friend. We're all scholars, right? But this Ramananda Rai, now I understand after speaking to you, he's the one who knows everything about what you're talking about. You must definitely meet. Obviously, Lord Chaitanya has already planned to meet because Ramananda Rai is Vishakha Devi, Lalita, Vishakha, and all the Sakhis that you see, Tunga Vidya, Chitra, Champakalata, Lalita, Vishakha, Indulekha, Rangadevi, Sudevi, you see them in the altar in Mayapur. So he knows, yes, I'm waiting to join with them. Why? Because I am in the mood of Radharani. And they are my dear friends. They only understand, right? They only understand my heart. So Lord Chaitanya traveled. He came to this Godavari. That time, Ramananda Rai was the governor of Madras, it's mentioned. Madras extended beyond, right up to. So Lord Chaitanya was sitting on the bank of the Godavari, pensive mood, separation from Krishna, feeling it. And Ramananda came and carried on a palanquin. He is governor. So he came carried on a palki. And he got down, took his bath in the Godavari. And as soon as Lord Chaitanya saw him, ecstatic symptoms rose in him. And then somehow Ramananda Rai also saw Lord Chaitanya, what a beautiful looking sannyasi. He also became excited. And both of them came towards each other and embraced each other and started crying. And people were wondering, all of them who came with Ramananda Rai, he doesn't know him. What's going on? He's a stranger to him, right? And we are all the guards and we are all the keepers of the security and all that. They couldn't do anything. He just went to Lord Chaitanya. Both of them immediately embraced each other, started crying, rolling on the floor in ecstasy, meeting each other. I don't know you, but I know you're a devotee and you are ecstatic. I just, embraced, and he also embraced. And then they started speaking about Krishna, immediately sitting together, speaking about Krishna. Krishna is like that. And then Lord Chaitanya started, come tomorrow again, here, meet together. And the next day also they met. And then Lord Chaitanya told them, see, don't tell anybody about my meeting with you and what I'm discussing with you, okay? We are both mad people. These people will not understand. Bhagavad Dharma at its level will never be understood by everyone. Ramananda Rai was told, we are both mad, I can understand. Thinking of Krishna, nobody will understand. So in that conversation, there is one instance, Shishi Jagannath Baladev Shivakramai ki. Lord Chaitanya opens the conversation with him, tell me, I want to hear from you, tell me, what's the highest goal? And then immediately, I can't go through the whole thing. Ramananda opens up and says, following Varnashrama Dharma and executing those duties will lead you to the goal of life. Then Lord Chaitanya said, Eho Bahya. This is external. Speak more. He said, Deho Bahya. I just rejected it. The whole Bhagavad Gita is speaking about it. Eho Bahya. Say more. And then he says, performing Varnashrama duty without seeking fruits. And this is, yeah, that's also outside, external. Then he said, Yat karoshi, yadashnasi, yad juhosi, dadasi, yat yatavasisi, konsi, yatat purusham adarpanam. It shows a little approval, but that also is, not this thing. And Ramananda opens up slowly. He knows what it is, but it's in common parlance, this is what the people will say, that religion means Varnashrama. So he spoke about religion, Varnashrama. Eho Bahya. I don't want to hear this. I know you know more. Tell me. And then he goes ahead and peels. Not this, is not this. Then when he says ecstatic devotional service, ecstatic love for Krishna, then he says, now you speak. I think you know more. Tell me more. Tell me more details about this. In this way, step by step, he takes him right up to, Radharani's love. And Ramananda Rai at that time recognizes and says, you must be that same person. And Lord Chaitanya closes his mouth and said, don't play tricks with me. Okay, just answer my questions. It's a very sweet conversation where I hope someday we'll be able to discuss this in detail, where Ramananda Rai exposes the topmost love of Radharani for Krishna. And then Krishna disappears from the Rasa Leela, taking Radharani, and he disappears from Radharani also. Then he reappears, and we sing the Gopika Geetam. Then he reappears to them, and he's intensely showing his love for the gopis. And he's saying to them, Na paraye aham. I am not able to repay you. That's why I don't want to see you. I'm not able to repay you for your love for me. I remain indebted to you. Krishna was defeated. Krishna could not reciprocate the gopis' love for him. So pure, so exalted were their love for Krishna. So I don't have anything else to give you. I don't have any great treasure to give you but pure love. And you have done it so well that I can't match it up. I remain indebted. Because Krishna said, Ye yatamam prapatyante tangs tateva bhajamyaham in Bhagavad Gita. As you give, I will give. But now he says, you gave, I cannot give back. Actually, the Bhagavad Gita statement broke by the gopis. I'm not able to give back to you. Isn't it? So, bhakti is such that you can defeat Krishna in bhakti by your reciprocation. That is why Krishna is getting very attracted to Radharani's love. That is why he is coming as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Because I can come under the control of my devotees because of their pure love for me. So they are much more than me. They can control this person. Aham sarvasya prabhavo mattas sarvam pravartate. Everything comes from me. Janmadyasya yataha anvayat itaratas charteshvu abhijñah swarat. The supremely independent person. from whom everything comes, the source, the origin, that person is surrendering to the gopi and saying, "Na aparayeham. I don't think I can do it. I can't give you anything more. I don't have anything more apart from pure love that you have expressed. Be satisfied with this only." So although the gopis go through a lot of so-called miserable situation due to separation from Krishna, due to many different things, they remain in ecstatic love of Krishna, the highest order. That is what you get. So Bhagavata Dharma extends to that point where the devotee can actually make the Lord indebted to him. Not with the purpose of making indebted to him does he do that. There's no limit to how much you can express love for Krishna. There's no limit. So you have a capacity that you can express love for Krishna in such great level that Krishna can become indebted to you. So imagine how the living entity is actually situated and how much small amount we are drawing from it, or not at all drawing from. How totally misused the opportunity is. So in Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's philosophy, in the Bhagavatam philosophy, he explains Bhagavatam so wonderfully to great depths about the love of the devotees, especially Brajavasis, for him, for Krishna. And to what depths a human being, an individual soul, forget human being, anybody, any soul, to what depths they can actually go. They can plummet great depths in bhakti. There's no limitation. And Krishna allows it. That is why you see Yashoda Mai can hold the ears of Krishna and say, "Come here, what did you do?" And he's afraid because I have no control over my devotee. Because he's affectionately dealing with me, I succumb to it. I happily succumb to it because there's no danger at all. There's no danger in losing myself to my devotee. Completely under their care and control. So the Bhagavatam describes it as mamata. Yashodamai's feeling of Krishna is mine. Mine, my Krishna. Nothing should go wrong with him. He's possess the Lord. That Krishna, so beautiful Krishna, she possesses him and Krishna plays into it. I am your possession. Once in a while he shows his mouth and shows his Vishrupa and confuses her a little bit and watches her getting confused and he gets some thrill out of it. Once in a while he throws in his godly nature and he confuses. But they don't even think about the fact that he is God. God becomes another function of the absolute truth, which is not important for pure devotees. I know you are God, we heard about it. But you please come here. I'm tying you up in the mortar, I'm tying you up because you did this wrong. So this contradiction, you will not understand if you just know only religion and that also you don't follow properly. So all sorts of people are fighting with each other and claiming we know, that religion, this religion is against, all sorts of things people are doing. But we must understand Bhagavad Dharma. That's why here Yamaraj is saying, I know, we all know. We all know how exalted are the gopis. We all know how exalted are the gopas. We all know how exalted are devotees. And we are always ready to serve devotees. Because devotees are very dear to Krishna. Because it is not just devotee full stop. There's lots of things happening there dynamically in the relationship. Talk of relationships, you have to study devotee and Krishna, his relationship. You will understand a lot more about relationships. In the modern world today, you can see relationship as a very, very shallow understanding. And it gets thrown around, it gets tossed around, it gets played around with, and they're bewildered. They don't know what is this? How to maintain it? You don't know. But if you become a devotee of Lord Chaitanya, you chanting Hare Krishna, you will be exposed to that. wonderful relationship that Krishna can have with anybody, any soul, any soul. That is Bhagavad Dharma. So Bhagavad Dharma is not some rigid, disciplined rule and regulation. Dharma connotation normally means boundaries, rules, duties. Dharma can be understood in various ways. There were lots of me. Dharma means duty. Dharma means religion. Dharma means intrinsic quality. Dharma means so many things. But Bhagavad Dharma means Krishna lending himself to you in love. It's very exciting. It's completely different. Very different. That is why it's not easy to understand. It's not easy to understand. When we read Prabhupada's books, read the Bhagavad and especially the Chaitanya Charitamrita, then we go and see one of these, so-called famous YouTube videos of somebody who explains what is Sanatana Dharma. We can't even see it beyond a few seconds. You don't get it. You never got it. You will never get it. That's what it says here. You cannot understand it. Those who even follow Varnashrama cannot understand. Yamaraj is telling the Yamadutas, those who chant Krishna's name, never go near them. Leave them alone. They are not your jurisdiction. They are devotees. Bring to me those people who do all their duties perfectly, but never do any devotional service. See this category? Who do their devotees perfectly. I am a mother, I should do my duty. I am a father, I should do my duty. I am a citizen of the country, I should do my duty. I should pay my taxes correctly. I should be respectful to everybody. I should do these things. Not easy to be a human being nowadays. So many duties. I've done all of them correctly. I'm an honest man. I'm a very good man. In the judgment of the Bhagavatam, you are useless. You did not do what you're supposed to do. You are a human being for the sake of learning to love Krishna and serve him. And he didn't do an iota of it, so everything is wasted for you. But I did so many things nicely. No, it's all temporary stuff. That's done with your life, that's over. But Bhagavad Dharma is eternal relationship with the Lord, which you have. You must do something towards that. And you never did anything towards it. I don't have time. So many duties I have to do. No, this is primary duty. After this duty only, you should attend to all the secondary duties. But if you made your secondary duty primary, then you are useless. Please take birth again, come back as a human being. But one thing, you may take birth as a human being because you've understood to be dutiful so well. You're so dutiful, but you're not beautiful. It's not enough to be dutiful. You have to become beautiful by serving Krishna. Because he is the supreme beautiful. So devotees, by serving the Lord, they climb onto a completely different platform. And they forget everything else. And they're very happy serving the Lord. And these are the people who are considered to be irresponsible fellows. Who did not do this duty, did not do that duty. And they blame them and everything. I cannot help it. I'm not able to do. Please, I've fallen in love with Krishna. Excuse me, don't think bad about me. I'm not irresponsible. I somehow got to think about this person, blue-eyed boy who runs around the bushes. It's a very nice shloka. What is that? Advaita vidhi pratikashaya shayah swananda simhasana labda dikshaha. He said, Advaita vidhi. I was taught about the supreme absolute truth. I became a jnani, and then I learned everything from the Vedas, everything. And then I became a great person. And Ananda Simhasana Labda Diksha. I sat on a big asan, Simhasana. I took Diksha and I became great Guru. I was a very great fellow. Everybody knows me. Swananda Simhasana Labda Diksha. But what happened is, some dark boy running around the bushes in Vrindavana completely stole my heart. And I fell down from that place and I'm just hanging around. there in Vrindavana, roaming around looking for this person who goes around chases some ladies in the bushes. What a beautiful shloka. I'm not able to get the last two lines. Can you, Swananda Simhana Labda Dikshaha, what is it? I don't get the last shloka. It's so beautiful shloka. This is Bilumangal Thakur, I think, saying. And everything ruined for me. After that, I'm just going behind this boy. What says? Just read it. Shatena kenapi vayam hatena dasakriti loba. What is it? Dasakriti? Gopavadu vitena. Shatena, I got cheated by this person. Shatena kenapi vayam hatena dasakriti gopavadu vitena. He goes around looking at all the gopis, he's searching for all the girls in the bushes. He has stolen me completely. Some boy in Vrindavana has stolen me, and I've fallen down the Simhasana. I don't care about the Simhasana, nothing. I'm totally absorbed in. So that's why people cannot understand. It takes some blessing from a pure devotee of the Lord to understand what really is religion. What are we doing? Why are we doing what we are doing? That even Krishna is getting attracted to doing it. And he's coming down as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and doing it. Why don't you people do it? It's so wonderful. Then we stand glum there and watch. You're asking me to do it. I have so many duties. I have to get my daughter married. I have got so much money. That fellow is cheating me. That neighbor did this to me, and the government has passed this law. The income tax fellows came behind me. You're telling me to chant Hare Krishna? You won't get it. Sorry. I'm very sorry. I want to help you, but you're not able to get it. This is the meaning of Gopavadu Vitena, Shatena Kenapi. You have to be cheated from performing your duty. Then only you will understand. And if I say this, I'll become the greatest disturber in society. But that's what Lord Chaitanya has come for. Disturb all you guys who are settled down in your duties. That's why he said, Varnashma Eho Bahya. Everybody is doing it all over the place. I spoke about it in Bhagavad Gita, by the way. Varnashrama, Chatur Varnyam Maya Srishtam Guna Karma Vibhagasha. I spoke about it. Because you asked me the question. Arjuna asked the question, I answered. That doesn't mean that's what you should be doing all the time. It's only a platform. It's only a stepping stone towards prema. Learning to revel in love of me. Both you and me, we will enjoy. This is the invitation of God. God is not just somebody sitting with a long beard and pushing his thumb down on every proposal of yours and not giving you what you want. God is giving you far, far more than you can imagine that you could ask. It's like, come, we'll enjoy. But you are not able to understand. He's saying that Yadgatvana nivartante tadhama paramam mama. That's why it says here, you don't understand. You cannot understand. It's so unfortunate that you cannot understand. I'm repeatedly telling you, you're not able to understand. So, pure devotees of the Lord, they penetrate that and enter you and give you Krishna consciousness. Only they can do it. That's why Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada is a very special person. There are many people who will teach you Vedas. Many people will teach you how to do your duty. And everybody is very attached to that karma type of stuff. I like to do that. I've seen repeatedly people who come new to Krishna consciousness, they give preference to ritualistic, religious stuff more than chanting. Now, paniting around paniting. Where are you going? I'm going to chant Rudram Chamakam. A whole group of them are chanting together. 20 people together, they're chanting 2 hours, we're chanting, oh, very nice. Then we are chanting Purushottam. Then we're chanting Lalita Sahasranam. Then we're chanting the whole Veda. Chant, chant, chant. We're chanting and you can see it coming out of my ears everywhere. I feel so good. I'm chanting. You feel good, materially good. Why don't you chant Hare Krishna a little bit more than what you're chanting? See how you'll feel good. It'll be a different type of good that you'll feel. So good it'll be that you'll never visit any of these mantras again. That's what's going to happen. Why? Because it's packed with the potency, the mercy of the Supreme Lord, because He Himself is the holy name. That is the dharma of the age. That's why Yamaraj is telling, bring to me those people who do their duties very well, but never worship the Supreme Lord or do devotional service to Him. Now you can understand how essential and absolutely necessary it is for everybody to serve the Supreme Lord Krishna. Otherwise, you'll get stuck in this karma kanda thing. And you'll take birth again and again and again and again, but never click it. And you'll become a great religionist. And you'll even worship Vishnu, but you'll be stuck in that rut. You'll see in Bhagavatam, Daksha offering prayers to Vishnu, the Supreme Lord, you are everything. But I am very busy with my Homa, Yajna, and all the rules and regulations and everything I'm doing correctly. And this Narada Muni, my gosh, he's stopping me from doing it. I am so busy, I'm on the treadmill of Karmakanda. And he comes in between and put a spoke in the wheel. And all my sons who had prepared them to also be on 10,000 treadmills, doing their duty and being Prajapatis, he put a spoke in the wheel and all the treadmills stopped functioning and they went back to God. How dare he do that? But Narada Muni knows it's okay if you're angry also, it doesn't matter. And the next 1,000 he produced, then also he sent them also. So your brothers did something wise, why are you doing something unwise? You should go. And then he had the audacity to go back. Let's take a look at whether I can send Daksha back. He went to see Daksha, and Daksha was quivering. His lips were shaking. His whole body was shaking. How dare you come to see me? You are a sannyasi. You're useless. You are like that. You're like this. Why are you wearing saffron cloth? Everything he heard. It took a curse on his head also. I think it's not possible for me with you, but with your sons, I did it. It'll take more time for you. I don't know whether this instance occurred after the goat head or before the goat head. But anyway, Daksha did not get into it. Some people just can't get into it. Nate vidur swarthagatimihi Vishnu durashaya ye bhirattamanina. Prahlad Maharaj very nicely explains, Matirna Krishne Paratasvatova Mito Abhipadyeta Griha Pratanam Adam Tagobir Vishatam Tamishram Punascharvita Charvanana. Matirna Krishna, in their mati, in their consciousness, there is no Krishna. Paratasvatova, if somebody tells them also, they won't allow it inside. And they are chewing the chew, very busy having gratification. So normally in this world, nobody really understands what is religion. That is why Krishna is saying, Sarva Dharman Parityaja. All the religious stuff, give it up. Actually, this is what is the real meaning in the 18th chapter. Most people, because they don't want it, we don't tell them. We don't tell them, give up all religion, surrender to me. What? I thought the Bhagavad Gita is about becoming religious. No, it's about giving up religion and surrendering to Krishna. It's very difficult to understand. That's why I say it's very difficult for you to understand. Krishna is telling in the 7th, 8th chapter, he said, Yada yada hi dharmasya klanir bhavati bharata. Whenever dharma is broken, I come and I install it and I put the thing in place. Paritranaya sadhunam. All that he said. In the 18th chapter, he said, that dharma which I spoke about, forget it. Sarva dharman parityaja. So it's very difficult to understand if you don't know. But obviously, that's not what it is. The same dharma only is talking about. I mean, he's talking about, you don't know how to explain it. Unless you know this, Krishna is saying, religion is no use if it does not lead you to me. It does not lead you to love of me. Might as well keep it aside, because it's a whole lot of complicated stuff. And if you're getting stuck in it, better keep it aside. Just surrender to me directly. Become my devotee. Right? So this is the dharma that the Mahajanas know, pure devotees know. Not everybody knows. And that is given to us by Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. Very rare, very special. Not something that everybody can understand. So we are very fortunate to be able to be introduced to Bhakti. And that too in Kali Yuga, that too under Lord Chaitanya, that too in such a easy process of Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Om Tat Sat. Jai Srila Prabhupada ki, Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki, Nittai Gaura Premanande. Okay. Dharma bhado vidharmasyat paradharmo anya chodita hai. Ubadharmastu pakando dhambhova sapta bichala hai. Religious principles that obstruct one from following his own religion are called vidharma. Religious principles introduced by others are called paradharma. A new type of religion created by one who is falsely proud and who opposes the principles of the Vedas is called Upadharma. And interpretation and one's jugglery of words is called Chaladharma. Four, very prevalent. I leave it to you to categorize and put the necessary people in the necessary category. But Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada is beyond all these four. Any question or comment? Anybody has a question or comment? Yeah.
Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's philosophy, he practically portrayed key two things that I would like to share. One is he was always chanting Krishna, Krishna. And he and also established this philosophy that the holy name is non-different from Krishna himself. So considering these two, how come it is called love in separation? How is it love in separation, considering that the name and form of Krishna is all same, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is always chanting Krishna. So how is the separation element coming?
Definitely, it is segregated because we are not instantly as soon as we chant, we are not having the realization. So you are a sadhaka. Lord Chaitanya is showing you how to do sadhana. For you, he is not separated or he is not doing sadhana. But he's showing you how to do sadhana. He is not a sadhaka. But you are a sadhaka. When you chant Hare Krishna, instantly you don't get goosebumps in the next chant. Doesn't happen. The opposite happens to you. Some people fall asleep. That's what they come. I'm feeling sleepy whenever I chant. So we are not tricking with the fact that the holy name is Krishna himself. That realization comes gradually. And then you chant, you're associated with Krishna. You feel the ecstasy. Here is Krishna. So that will happen gradually. But for Lord Chaitanya, he simultaneously externally showing both sides. Internally, his relation that separates from Krishna. That is a different thing happening inside. He is dependent on his chanting. He is doing that for you and me. But he is enjoying as a sadhana performance, as a devotee who has achieved the highest goal. Rather than his bhava is enjoying. So two things are happening. It's externally showing, but there are other connotations to that. The chanting of the holy name signifies this great love, prema, in this level. Because the chanting, the holy name is supposed to be the deep treasure of the Supreme Lord Himself. Chiram Adantam Nijakutaritam Swapremna Namamata Adibhara. Swapremna. Love for Himself. Prema means love. Swaprema means love for. All of us are, this doesn't mean some narcissistic, doesn't mean narcissism. People fall in love with themselves. That is a completely weird psychological problem. But it's not that Swaprema. He is in the mood of Radharani, enjoying love for Krishna, which is himself. Therefore, it's written Swaprema. So that love you will get by chanting Hare Krishna. It is not ordinary mantra. It is chanting the holy name to evoke that level of love like Radharani and the gopis towards Krishna. It is fact in the holy name. This Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare will unleash that to chant the Lord of Pada. And being situated in that level. That's what is the holy name. Therefore, when Lord Chaitanya chants the holy name and the actual recitation, it's all connected in a different way. Om Tat Sat. Any other question or comment? Well, question. Hare Krishna Maharaj, where is spiritual world situated? I know, really. In keeping with the class. I know. Right, so if you read the Bhagavatam, fifth canto, you will see the structure of this universe. And you will also see mention of the creation of the spiritual creation and the material creation. And there is a word that Krishna explains. Prabhupada says nature. Parastasmat bhavo anyo vyakto avyakta sanat yasa sarveshu bhuteshu nashyet nashyati. There is another nature beyond this material world, spiritual nature, and there are spiritual manifestations. When this is getting destroyed, that remains as it is. Not vinashyati, there is no destruction for that. And huge bulk of the creation of the Lord is spiritual creation. A very small waste paper basket is the material creation. There is the inside and on they are all the guys who decided not to remember Krishna, decided Krishna, and they are in that material level. And Krishna visits there to try to get us back. And that is the visit that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has done. And Prabhupada has come behind him and said, please take this seriously. And we can go back to that spiritual. So the spiritual world is spoken about. If you ask me in terms of space, time, and distance, where it is, I cannot say it is so many thousand million kilometers away from where we are staying. It's difficult for me to say now. There are some calculations. This is the material realm we are in. There is this very huge. There is a diameter of the universe mentioned, and many things are mentioned. But if you want to really know in terms of physical measurements, try. Some of those figures you get rid of and you may try to estimate some of this. But it is beyond the material realm. And one who gets free from the shackles of Maya, material energy, he can be free from this material world, and he can actually make an entry to the spiritual worlds. That is spoken about repeatedly by Krishna. Even describes Yatatvana Nikartam De Tatham Karanama Natat Bhashyate Suryo Nashashanko. He describes this in the Bhagavad Gita. Okay. I hope that helps you. Where exactly I don't know in terms of what means in space. Because I think this doesn't work according to 3 dimensions that we know about.
An observation, Maharaj. Here, Imran says that I know that it's there. We know that it's there. But Brahma says that as far as I am concerned, I don't know who God is. And even Krishna says that religion is very complicated. One cannot understand. Other two Mahajanas are saying something different.
Other two Mahajanas are saying somebody is asking. To understand according to the context, this is an absolute statement. We know the absolute truth Krishna. Now, the same person is one of the Mahajanas that's listed here, the same Bhishma said that it's very difficult for me to know Dharma. But there he is dealing with formation of dharma. What is the woman's duty? What is the king's duty? What is to do? Should you get this one by or not? And all those duties. He's saying, I'm confused about this. But he knows very well about the absolute truth. How to do this dharma in this context, that I'm confused. But it's not that I'm confused with the rules of the prophets. That you should know. That's what he's saying. He's telling Draupadi, I do dharma and different situations are very confused now. That's what it is. Actually, that is the truth. That's how the dharma is. Not so easy. What is right and what is wrong. Kim karveti, kim akarveti, kavayo abhyatra mohita, tatteham pravakshayami yajnatva mokshayate ashita. He's telling this one. What to do and what not to do will always be confusing for the person until you want to crack it. And because I'm teaching you all that. That's what he's teaching. So, dharma, as it entails in the world, the desires and karma and the situations in the material world, put like a real inside is very difficult to start. Once it's a real, you can't take out like even the thought, you can't take it out. It's a real. It's meant to be like that. It is meant for people who are very interested in material life and this thing. They go on to their own confused, bewildered, but still they will go forgetfully. Why? Because sense gratification is important for them. But for those who are a little detached, they say, what's going on? They want to do this. They're going to do the right thing and move on. Right? The context of Krishna stating that, the context of Brahma stating that, is because he has been subjected to the illusion by the Lord. It's mentioned in the Bhagavatam that Krishna put it on. Okay, you're the most intelligent person in the universe. Let him be also confused. And so he became confused and stole the gas into the thing. And then he said, tell you, people talk that they know. I don't know. I don't know. Answer, I don't know. So the situation, circumstance is different. It is not that Brahma does not know. Of course, he needs Krishna. Talks to him. He's getting Deni, Brahma, Pradaya, Kavi, and he meets with Krishna, he talks to Krishna, he takes guidance. But maybe you can say he does not know Krishna as like focus. Maybe. But he's speaking in relation to his position, his duties, what he's supposed to do in that relation. But I know you. That way. Yes. Why are movies not included? Because they're more than the Mahajanas. Mahajana is meant for you and me to follow. Mahajana is meant for you and me to follow. And the demigods are meant for you and me so that religion will be proper. Krishna, the absolute truth, is meant for those who are beyond rules and regulations, start thinking beyond conditional life. Think about their liberated life, for them, Krishna is relevant. When you want the absolute, then Krishna becomes relevant. If you want the relative and want to exist nicely in the relative, and demigods and all these people. For those people who want to make a trip outside and they are liberated, then Mahajanas are important. Teach you how to do devotions. For liberated people, Mahajanas are very important. And for practicing people, Bhakti Yoga, Mahajanas. Mahajanas are not important for demigod worshippers. You see that? Isn't that? Yeah. There are various types of people important for very demigod worshippers because I want my karma, I want my enjoyment, I want the result of my activity. How can you deceive me like that? You must be that type of thinking you have, business, mercantile thinking, then it's relevant for you. Your mentality is the conditioned soul gets mentality. Is supposed to. And Krishna is not responsible for that. Because you're having so many different types of mentalities, so many different types of authorities and everything have put in shape. But if you surrender to me, give up all that and surrender to me, then everything changes.
only me and you, which is really the true sadhana, which is what I want you to believe. Okay? Om Tat Sat, Hare Krishna, today's busy day. It is a short waiting.